When there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Welcome to Pop Culture Justice here on Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and boy, have we got a show for you today. Welcome back, everybody. Planeteers, so good to see you. We'll be live here talking about a lot of news. We got to talk about this Ghislaine Maxwell, Ghislaine. I'm going to call her Maxi Pad, okay? Just set it out right at the beginning so you all know. The less I say her name, the better for our sake. We're going to be talking about her first exclusive interview from prison. She did an interview. It's turning into this weird puff piece redemption story that I got to call out. I'm not going to sit for this. Plus, it just aired in the UK. We're getting the clip of her first official video of her in prison talking to people. I'm very curious to see what she says and what this narrative is going to be. We also got a new article from Cat 10 Barge I just saw. I've got to react to that, as well as, more Kanye beefs and so much more. To do it all, starting with my friend Kim is here to help me break it all down. Hey, Kim, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm still trying to figure out my fitness regime. I was telling Kim earlier, trying to do like a little bit of intermediate fasting, and it just makes me grumpier. I'm trying to deal with the shrinking and eating the less, but then all you guys who are doing the intermediate fasting, how do you keep the energy and avoid the grumpiness when you're waiting for to break your fast? Send your tips over. I'll also be working out tomorrow on Instagram, my Tuesday workout, so join me. But yeah, I'm good. Other than that, I can't complain, and happy we got some news to talk about. There's a lot of news to talk about, and let's get to it, shall we? We're waiting for Steph, our exclusive UK correspondent, will be phoning in with an exclusive clip from the UK to show us Miss Ghislaine Maxi Pad reacting to her first interview out. But she spoke to the Daily Mail. Yay! Daphne Barrick is giving. Who is she? The one who talked to Britney?
I think she's the one that did the interview for K-Fed. Yeah, pretty sure that's her. Can
you verify that? Because it would make total sense that this woman has no qualms whatsoever in having the worst people be given the most kid gloves possible in interviews. Because when I saw this, I was like, the filmmaker and author keeps getting these exclusive celebrities with these terrible people and then gives them a very good interview. In fact, the news, it is her. I thought it's her name. Yeah, there it is. So be warned, guys. Same woman who gave K-Fed the glowing interview about how troubling it is to live as K-Fed. Here's the first image we got. We've seen her in prison. Now, the narrative it's getting around in the UK and elsewhere, and I'm curious what Steph's going to say to this. Are the royals working with the press to get this out? There's a whole pro Andrew narrative that's all over about, I feel so bad for dear friend Andrew, and it just basically talking about how the photo was fake and it's so unfair what's happening to him. It's kind of depressing, kind of scary. All right, I want to break down. It's a long piece. We're going to break it down on what she said. And will she name names? What's controlling all this? Plus, when Steph comes in, we will be playing the clip, so stay tuned. We will play you the first clip of seeing this monster in person because she's been avoiding that like crazy. It's all been court sketches, Kim, and everything else. We saw one images where she had some bruise under her eye, over in the spring, but now this is the first official image we have of her in her prison sentence. All right, so what's happening? Let's break it down. So, in an extraordinary interview from behind the prison walls, she spoke for the first time about her dear friend and heartfelt sadness at his own catastrophic fall from grace. Yes, I follow what is happening to Prince Andrew. He is paying such a price for the association with Jeffrey. I care about him and I feel so bad. Now, what's really weird is correct me if I'm wrong, he was blaming her. Right? He was in order to defend his friendship to Jeffrey, he was blaming it all on Maxwell, in the interviews and everything else that got him in even more trouble. So it's very strange that Maxwell's now turning oh yeah, no, I feel bad for him when he threw her under the bus, right, Kim?
Yep. It's ridiculous. I feel obviously we haven't seen the interview yet. We don't know fully, but I get the feeling this is just going to be I feel so bad for everyone. Everyone, please feel bad for all of us. All of us. It's so sad. And I feel like that's what we're walking into, and it's just gag me. I just can't.
Yeah, and I should remind people who don't know what we're talking about. If you haven't followed this case, it doesn't get as much press as it should. I have to be careful in how I describe this case, but you should know who Jeffrey is and Maxwell. They did horrible things to people of a certain age, and Maxwell, per the court case she went through, was found to be the person who was sort of bringing these girls, let's call them what they were, in to help Jeffrey and his, needs is the best way I can sort of describe it. And Jeffrey had a lot of powerful celebrity friends. And Maxwell kept a book of all these clients and people that they were working with. And so everyone's just been wondering who's going to be outed. And so far, nobody's been. Jeffrey is unalives himself. And I don't believe he did that at all in the prison. And then it all fell on Maxwell. They finally found, and she's playing like she had nothing to do. She got roped into it all. Bullshit. Total bullshit. And guys, this is going to be a hard stream, so please smash the like button, share, support when you can. There's a pinned comment. Talking about this stuff is never good for our platform, but we always push against and report what we need to report about. So what's up, Nick Knack? Member 6 months. My goodness, as a producer, Nick Knack, thank you so much for all you've done. I see you in your chat there. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to this story. I spoke to 60-year-old Maxwell face-to-face inside the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn during the summer, and again just a few weeks after she was moved to her current jail in Tallahassee's Federal Correctional Institute. This is where she'll serve a 20-year sentence for her role in helping Epstein to, yep, you read it there. I asked her about one of the most notorious photographs, one of which has haunted Prince Andrew. It shows the prince with his hand around the waist of then 17-year-old Virginia Roberts, now Goo-free, who with Maxwell beaming onto one side. The man behind the camera clicking the shutter is disgraced financier, and yeah, they called him what he is, Epstein. Andrew has insisted that the photo has in some way been doctored. Maxwell, too, believes the photo must be fake, despite experts' commentary, and Virginia herself maintained the picture is real and unaltered. And you're going to see in the interview later that Maxwell's also in emails confirmed it was real, but now she's changing her tune. I thought the photo was going to come here in a second. A lot of photos of these two. She didn't know what he was up to. No way. They didn't have a romantic relationship is the other thing that she's been out there trying to say. Nope. They're just really good friends. While her company was once eagerly sought by leading figures in society, Maxwell, now a convicted, SO, is now a little short of pariah. It is something that she herself acknowledges and articulates well, pointing out that any association with her name, at best, a black mark. At worst, it's turned into a wicked witch. There are many people who have been impacted by this story, who have been canceled. Some friends of mine who never even met Jeffrey, lost their jobs. People who literally had nothing to do with him whatsoever have been canceled. This is why I don't talk about cancel culture as much, because I really don't believe in it. But there's assholes like this person who keeps trying to use it as like, oh, we're being canceled. Oh, we're just all being canceled. No, you're going to jail for crimes. That's not being canceled. And I can't stand the narrative of people bending the word canceled to then speak for all these criminals. Not on my watch, Kim, right? It's annoying. No.
This is accountability. This is karma. This is you did what you did. You associated with who you associated with. And now you made your bed and now you're lying in it. That's what it is.
Oh, but her friends have been canceled, Kim. So I think for all these people, including some of them who've never met him, it's been a very heavy price that has been paid due to the cancel culture. Oh, the cancel culture. How dare it? Ugh, I'm starting to think cancel culture isn't real anymore because, people are using it like this. So, from the perspective, I think it's been very difficult for a lot of people. No more so than 62-year-old Prince Andrew, of course, who once had been a regular companion. When I point out the prince's lawyers reject the suggestion that Maxwell and Andrew were close, she accepts it with equanimity. I accept that this friendship could not survive my conviction. I mean, Andrew said it too, so she's just now playing nice. But, they didn't have a romantic relationship at all. She just got roped into this had no idea what he was doing. No, yeah. These photos are all so creepy. Significantly in Andrew's disastrous paranormal interview with Emily Mann. Oh my God, what an interview. What an interview. This woman just destroys him. destroys him so eloquently, civilly, just lets him hang himself in the interview. And I think that's really what did it, why he's forever going to be pariah, because it's like, dude, you did not defend yourself at all. He appeared to pin the blame for his troubles on her. Yeah, he claimed he had no knowledge that Jeffrey had been charged with these SO offenses when he was invited to Windsor Castle with Maxwell. Andrew said, remember, it was his girlfriend that was the key element in this. Jeffrey was the, as it were, plus one. Which is it, Kim? I can't even figure it out anymore. All these liars.
It depends on the day of the week. It depends on the day of the week and what works best. That's all it is. You know, we just have to pick the narrative. It depends. It depends.
Yeah, Jeffrey was just the plus one, guys. It was so now Maxwell's not like calling him out and saying, you threw me under the bus. You'd think, like, here's where you know this is off the rails and she's lying. Because if she was telling the truth, she would throw Andrew so far under the bus, you couldn't even see straight. Because if anybody was doing that to me and I was innocent and I wasn't the mastermind and he was the plus one, right? You wouldn't then be like, oh, you know, it's whatever. You would say, Andrew called me out and he's the biggest offender there was. I was never, you know, it doesn't make any sense. She's clearly protected in some way because she can't even call out the obvious. It's terrifying. Andrew was forced to step down from royal duties after that interview in 2019. Is there any chance that Andrew could open his arms once more and ask her to be friends? I don't have an expectation, she says. People who I have been friends with and very close friends with, whoever they may well be, I can't think about what they will want to do or not do. I can only control what I do. Despite the continued denials, Andrew paid Virginia a financial settlement reported to be $12 million to settle out of court in a civil claim she brought against him. Maxwell similarly said about other friendships, including Bill Clinton. At Maxwell's trial, Epstein's former pilot testified he had taken the former president alongside Prince Andrew and Trump to VIP locations all over the world on his private jet. It was a special friendship which continued over the years, Maxwell says of Bill Clinton, until she tails off, a sentence there is no need for her to finish. What do you mean no need? What a terrible interviewer. Wouldn't you be like, can you elaborate a little bit more on that, please? What do you mean? Please? So what did Clinton do? So the interviewer's like, you know, we don't need her to. We had lots in common. I feel bad that he is another victim, only because of his association with Jeffrey. I understand that he, like others, can no longer consider me as a friend. One of the few did speak out in her defense was Trump. Yeah, good on Trump. Oh, that made him look real good, didn't it, Kim? Whose circles Maxwell regularly mingled. Following her 2020 arrest, the president had famously said, he dared while others didn't. It's how she puts it today. I was very touched that he would remember me and that he would wish me well. And I was very touched by his remembrance of me. She adds, I think anybody who says anything remotely either positive and or generous about me seems to attract a lot of negative interest. Gee, I wonder why.
Oh my gosh.
Why.
That's the most shocking thing I've ever read. Wow. We need to digest that.
Yeah, it's a lot to digest. And in fact, President Trump is famous for thinking and saying what is on his mind, like whenever he says it. So I was just very touched, as I said. I appreciate it. Gave me a big boost during such a good time. Is this like her code to Trump? Be like, yo, dude, I got you. Thanks. I won't rat you out now. Do you think that's what this is?
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I point out that it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Just say, all the presidents and all the princes, I still love you. Please don't desert me. I still love you.
I point out that it's extraordinary that everything that's happened in recent years in a direct consequence of meeting one man. Does she look? Look at this interviewer's like defending her. Oh, all because of Jeffrey. It must be so sad. Does she regret it? Not like, do you regret the things that you did that you know were found guilty of? Do you regret meeting Jeffrey and him putting you through all this? My God, it's sickening. I said in open court in my statement that meeting Jeffrey was the greatest mistake of my life. And obviously, if I could go back today, I would avoid meeting him. And I would do it with some other millionaire who's going to not get caught, is what it feels. I would say that would be the greatest mistake I've ever made. And I would make different choices for where I would work, obviously. I think there are many women who can identify with my story. Many have either fallen.
Oh my gosh.
Many have either fallen in love with or had relationships with men that in hindsight they'd look back on and say, what was I thinking?
I
imagine there's not a woman.
Were just friends.
Seriously, no, she doesn't. It's unclear what she's talking about. But all you ladies out there, what was I thinking? I imagine there's not a woman on this planet who would not think about one or other of their boyfriends. Like Jeffrey. Ladies, you must all have a boyfriend that reminds you of Maxwell and Jeffrey's relationship, where you would court young girls over and put them to give massages and then, do all these terrible things. It's just like all your old ex-boyfriends. That's what it's like.
Go to private islands to facilitate the whole thing and, traumatize a bunch of people. We all have that in our closet, don't we?
Yeah, it's just like your ex-boyfriend. I'll be relatable. You all can relate to me. One of the reports claim that she and Epste were more than friends. I have read and seen and heard and it was reported to me in so many monstrous inaccuracies that I can't even start to pick apart all of them. Good denial. Question on when she started to feel uncomfortable at Epstein's proclivities. What do you say that? Proclivities. Yes. Maxwell clams up saying only that she suspects that she started to feel that way after he got in trouble in 2006 when he was indicted by the FBI for dozens of offenses with, girls. Now you know what girls means, because girls has a definition. It's a certain age for a girl. Let's not forget it. Under a subsequent plea deal, he served just 13 months. Oh, we have our special correspondent. There were things to mention here about him that I cannot discuss because of the appeal, but I can't say anything more than that. All she'll say in the matter. She continues to maintain her innocence even in the face of her conviction, arguing that she was effectively demonized before she heads to trial. I'm curious, does Kat Tenbarge and, Taylor Lorenz, Amber, do you think they all support Ghislaine? Do you think that's one where they're like, believe all women? We must believe this woman. She's innocent. I don't see them out there defending her as much as Amber. What does it take to become a woman that gets the pass from these journalists, Kim?
I don't know. And honestly, I wish I kind of did. It's
so you can do it?
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
Kidding.
It's just, you know what I think it is? For me, it's so much of this like back and forth. Like it's even the whole thing, like a couple paragraphs up where she's like, we've all had that boyfriend, we've all been in love with someone. And then like a paragraph later, but we weren't in love. We weren't dating. It's so like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't even think they know what side they're on anymore. I don't think anybody knows anymore because it's just such a mess. It's a dumpster fire. And it's complete delusion. Complete delusion.
Complete delusion. Well, we have a breaking news. We've now have our exclusive from our UK correspondent. Steph the alternate is here. Thank you, Steph. You brought us the first clip of her, yes?
You're muted.
I was on mute. Sorry. The only time that my gob can actually be muted. Yes, exclusive first look at this interview. Does she throw anyone under the bus? We're going to find out in a moment. I have edited this, guys, so to try and lessen the trigger words. So do bear that in mind because of YouTube and whatnot. But yeah.
Here we go. Should we watch this for the first time? Here we go. This is the official. Now we'll go back to now, just so we're clear, Daily Mail has a long piece. We'll go through more of the quotes that were pulled. But this is the first time we're seeing her in an interview speaking from the prison, how they got the interview. We'll break it all down, but let's get to it.
But first, the lawyer representing Ghislaine Maxwell has told ITV News this is delusional after Maxwell gave her first interview from
Andy,
inside
I can't hear
prison.
anything.
In audio clips from the conversation, the British socialite denies she's the Wicked Witch and regrets ever meeting Jeffrey Epste, who she was convicted of.
You just might not hear it. Sorry. I can't.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not working right now. Oh, wait, I can zoom it if I share it here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Share screen. Share sound. Tell me if you hear it now. Hopefully it doesn't make it complete.
As for the photo of Prince Andrew with his arm around Ghislaine Maxwell now claims it's a fake. The Duke of York has always denied any wrongdoing. Our UK editor Paul Brand has this special report.
From friend to the rich and famous, to cellmate to the convicted and dangerous. For the first time since her sentencing, Ghislaine Maxwell has spoken from prison.
Until you've been here, you really don't understand how appalling it is.
Talking to an American journalist she's known since the 90s, victims say these are the warped words of a woman still unrepentant.
I haven't changed. Obviously an experience like this changes you, but I'm still the same person that I was. Well, the person that they're talking about, all these people, is a fictional version of me. Sort of like a Disney character, where, you have the Cinderella and the Wicked Witch, if you will. So I've been created as this person.
But her crimes do fit the character. She's serving a 20-year sentence at Tallahassee Jail in Florida for... She still blames him for it all.
Obviously, if I could go back today, I would avoid meeting him. And I would say that would be the greatest mistake I've ever made, and I would make different choices.
Of course, the reason Ghislaine Maxwell's relationship with Jeffrey Epste became so infamous is the additional company they shared here at her home in London. A photograph and allegations attached to it would bring royalty into the picture.
I don't believe it is a real picture.
This is the image Prince Andrew still can't shake. Accused of girl he has his arm around. Eventually he settled Virginia's claim out of court, but has always denied doing anything wrong. Now Ghislaine Maxwell alleges that the photo is a fake.
I recognise my house, so from that aspect, but that image I don't believe is true. And the original has never been produced because it doesn't exist. As soon as the appeal is over, I will be very happy to discuss the, I don't know how many points there are, but over 50 problems with the picture.
It's really galling.
This lawyer for the says Maxwell isn't the best judge of reality. She'd previously claimed the photo was real.
There's zero credibility to her claim that the photograph has been doctored. There has been no evidence adduced in court when her attorneys had the opportunity to do that. We are talking about those girls truly were, and they have to live with the psychological fallout of what she did for the rest of their lives.
Ghislaine Maxwell still hopes to appeal her conviction and return to her former life. But tonight, the who trapped so many women remains a prisoner herself.
Oof, God. Well, I thought we would get a video, but it's just audio. Understood. We have some more quotes to go through, but I need to just shudder a few of those things. At least this report on the ITV was less egregious and actually called her out. I feel like the Daily Mail is like giving her, and the interviewer giving her a complete pass. But Steph, can you sort of set that up? Is ITV better news than the Daily Mail, et cetera? Like they seem to actually own up to the fact that she was wronged, whereas this reporter in the Daily Mail is like, oh, poor Ghislaine.
I'll be very honest with you. I don't know.
Okay, got it.
Because I just don't really watch ITV news, to be fair. A lot of mainstream news media now, I don't really watch, so I'm not too familiar, in all honesty.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what the clip I just saw, I appreciate that they at least kept it honest and called her out, which the Daily Mail is not doing. So there you go. Let's see here. So, so she really is just in complete denial as this interview keeps going. It's interesting to hear her voice. I'd never really heard her voice, like not a slight accent. It's just not what I expected. But yeah, it's just that her level of denial is wild. But I guess it has to be given the level of the evilness that she's done. When you can, do that to girls, etc., you have clearly no empathy or qualms to just continue to make shit up. Steph, do you ever, before I keep going with the Daily Mail, do you have a reaction to the interview itself? Anything that surprised you?
Nothing really surprised me because she's just still maintaining this incredulous kind of, I knew nothing. I'm still, I've been wronged as well by Hefe, I'm not evil, this, that, and the other. I'm completely innocent, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't surprise me that she's still banging that drum really, really hard. But it's incredible. It's like, dude, how could you have not known what he was doing? All those years, all those decades, like, come on. come on. And this whole thing of her turning around and saying, oh, well, you know, there's about 50 points to this photo where we can prove it's fake, this, that, and the other. Well, where were those 50 points in your damn trial in terms of that photo?
Right.
Like, where was this, right? Where was this evidence? Where is this information? She's turning around and she's saying, you know, we've got more information, we've got more evidence to prove my innocence. Well, why didn't you use that in the first damn trial in the first place? That would have proven your innocence. Like, this is all hot air. I really don't think this appeal is going to go anywhere. She's serving those 20 years with freaking bells on, as far as I'm concerned. That evil POS. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, to be fair, I was expecting like visual as well and not just audio, but that's what we've got. So
yeah, they're apparently they're gonna do a full they're full one on Paramount Plus. Maybe they're saving video for that. They're trying to stretch this out as much as possible, but yeah, Kim, any thoughts, or do you want to keep reading?
I mean, I love how they keep on bringing up this like wicked witch like analogy. Yeah. It's like, oh, that would be kind in this situation. I'm sorry. Like, it's way worse than that. That bothers me so much.
It's really worse. She's way worse. She's Hannibal Lecter, not the Wicked Witch.
Like, sorry.
She's like, I don't even, Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs, like even worse than Hannibal Lecter. It's like, ugh. Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't get to call the Wicked Witch. Good call. But yeah, anyway, the story keeps going through. Today she admits the death came out of the blue. I was shocked. I think anybody would be that somebody had died. So yes, I was shocked at Jeffrey. She thinks suspicious forces were at play. I don't know whether he was or wasn't. I'm just saying that the history of and the activities of the Bureau of Prisons, the lack of transparency, and the fact they have many unexplained things that happen within. It's the only thing I'll agree with her on. She pauses. There's a culture of untruth that frankly needs to be brought to light. So I'm saying he's one of among many, but I wouldn't know. I just find it suspicious. It is gripping testimony whether we believe her or not. No, it's not. Who believes her? And I, for one, am in no doubt that there's a great deal more to come. And so apparently she also goes into speaking that a woman plotted to K her in her sleep. And there was a bounty on her head at the Brooklyn Detention Center. And that's part of the reason she moved to this other one, which she claims isn't as nice. It's actually tougher. But she's now working for like the library. In the original like sort of write-up, it did sound pretty bad. Like she's in a cell with 3 other women and they only get out for an hour. It's not outside. It's only out like to move, and everything else is sort of done in the prison cell, which is very tight. But now as I'm reading, they really aren't really painting, I feel like, the clear picture. They're trying to make it sound worse than it even is, because from what I've seen, she now has a job in the library. And so it's very confusing what she's actually doing there. All I know is this reporter seems to be trying to give her as much of a pass as possible. She says she feels safer here at this new place. She suffered weeks of torment in which she was forced to wear nothing more than a smock in freezing temperatures because authorities claim she was at unaliving risk. She tells me it's still jail. It's very far from a cushy country club, as I've seen reported. You're locked up this entire time. When they do let you out for an hour, there's not a chair for everybody in the communal space, and there's no way to watch TV. Of course, few, if any, will have sympathy for the woman dubbed the monster. This was the first image we saw where there seemed to be someone had done something to her, but she says that wasn't the case. It's very unclear. But she's going to be in this prison for a while. She was moved without notice in the middle of the night in July during COVID red. She said, I think that if the place ever came off COVID red, it would definitely be an improvement. But under the circumstances, it's not an improvement in some respects. It's more restricted here than in the MDC. You only get to recover. So you only get recovery time outside the cell for a maximum of an hour, and you're not allowed outside. Her cell is furnished with 4 bunks and a small cupboard for each occupant. It's so small that she and her 3 cellmates cannot all stand. You can only have a little cupboard, 2 by 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. From the perspective, it's more restrictive. Can you imagine no 4 people can stand up in that cube and have access to anything at the same time? So it's sort of like a dance around who can do what, when. Oh, wow, must be so tough. Maybe you shouldn't have done that to those girls. Maxwell's become used to the monotony of prison and its privations. She sounds more confident than at the MDC because this reporter spoke to her twice. She was more upset then, and the second time she was positively chatty. Nobody has internet access, she continues. You can send an email to a short list of approved contacts, but there's no computer. If you have to type anything, it has to be an old-fashioned typewriter. You haven't seen something like that since probably the 1990s. Oh, it must be so tough. Poor Maxwell. Phone calls are allowed, but you have to wait in line, blah, blah, blah. She's bitching about the obvious things of prison, like, welcome to prison. You deserve it. Asked to describe a typical day. You wake up at 6, then at 6:20, they call for what they call mainline, which is odd because if you're a drug addict, that would be a trigger word. Then it's a meal and consists of milk and cereal. So nothing happens till around 10:30 when they call mainline, when they call lunch. And then you stand up at 4 and they count you. And then there's the main evening meal for 20 minutes to eat. The lights go out at 10. She got to go to work those who go to work has some compensation. She reveals she just got a job working in the jail's small library and education center. So that's like, I'm confused. When are you making time for that? None of this makes any sense. I've been helping people around. Imagine this. Maxwell's having fun because I've been helping people with anything that is possible. I look at it as an opportunity to use whatever abilities I have to help the people around me because some of them really don't have much. Oh, just how lovely. We're letting Maxwell teach others in prison how to do what she does best. There are many who don't speak English who are not educated by comparison. I have a lot of education, so I use the skills I have to help them. Whew. So she's, enjoying herself, helping these women. The food is actually better here by a large margin. Although I could probably tell you I'd be happy to never see an apple. I haven't seen a piece of fruit except an apple. You'd think in Florida there'd at least be an orange, but no.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. We both said it at the same time.
What?
Can you believe this puff piece?
I just want an orange. I just want an orange.
I do not possess a single suicidal bone in my body, she insists. Never contemplated it. I've never even thought about it. It's never crossed my mind. Yeah, you and Jeffrey were narcissist, egomaniac, sociopaths. Of course you wouldn't. That's why he didn't either. I'm very adamant on who I am and very excited and look forward to my appeal. The reason they put me on that watch was as punishment because I have filed numbers of grievances and have made clear that the authorities broke the rules and have harmed me, my ability to defend myself and many other things besides. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. She describes the experience as one profound humiliation that strips you of any remaining shred of dignity that you have. Good. You deserve it, given what you did to those girls. Anyway, she has no access to a shower, a toothbrush. She's handed just 2 sheets of toilet paper each time she needs to use the bathroom. And she said that fed the same meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 pieces of bread. Oh, this is when she was under the watch. 2 pieces of bread with bologna. I'm a vegetarian diet, so I couldn't even eat the bologna. Jesus Christ. And the cheese had fingerprints on it. I don't know. I think if I'm going to die, I would probably eat the bologna. I think I would just have to do it, you know? Because I don't eat meat, but I probably would have to if I'm stuck there. They had 2 cameras on me. Blah, blah, blah. Jails are dangerous, actually, given what I've witnessed in jail. Guards selling D's and being inappropriate in every way. I've seen all these things and therefore feel prisons are not safe spaces. Oh, let's make prisons safe spaces. This woman's lost it. I mean, look, people shouldn't be, but come on. Prison's not a safe space. That's kind of the point of prison. If you're in there wrongfully, it's not right, but don't particularly like the word victim. I don't particularly like the word victim. Yeah, I wonder why, because you've made several of them. I think it's one that should be used very sparingly. I'm going to wait until post-appeal to evaluate aspects of my life, but I won't use the word victim. She's debating whether she is a victim, Kim. What do you think? She's going to wait till the appeal to really decide whether she's going to make that word use. But obviously an experience like this changes you, but I'm just the same person I was. So rather than look at what I've lost, I'm trying to look at what I've gained. Ooh. Final thoughts on this topic. This unamazing. Oh, God. Kim, go ahead. You can go first.
She can write any narrative she wants. But I mean, the reality is the reality. Sorry, I'm hearing an echo, so I'm trying to like focus.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
a double from you as well.
It's
hon.
weird. Sorry. It's like you hear yourself talk and then you hear yourself talk again. No, I think it's I read this and I just hear screaming denial. Only denial. And
Is that better?
It's
Did I lose the echo?
It started again and then it went away. Not hearing it now.
Okay, I think I'm still playing with the things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Steph, final thoughts?
May she rot in hell forever and ever and ever, amen. The appeal just ain't gonna fly. She's a monster. It's a rare win for the survivorship to be able to take a monster down like that in court. Our survivorship community won, and she has to own up to the fact that she's a freaking monster. For her to turn around and be like, no, I'm one of you lot. I'm a survivor myself. Like, I'm innocent, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, pull the other one and piss off, you cow bag. Yeah, no. And for her to turn around and say that the photos are fake. Like, we've actually, I mean, guys that's watching either live or on the replay, go back in the catalogue on Popcorn Planet. We actually brought on Brian from Gnosis Knows, and he actually analysed this picture, right, of Prince Andrew and Virginia, and he debunked this notion that the photos are fake. He debunks it. Like, this done. So, yeah, her turn around and say, no, the photos are fake, there's 50 points of it, but then she doesn't really even mention one in particular, just to back her up even a little bit. Yeah, she's talking out of her backside. She could go get a freaking nearest cactus, lace it with chili oil, and shove it up her rear end. Is there any cactuses in Tallahassee?
I'm sure we could import them.
That'll do. That'll do.
Look at them.
Yeah. Import them right up her backside. That'll do for me. Yeah. Nice and sharp. Extra chili sauce. Just for her. Yeah, that'll do.
Oh man, well, sorry, that's what I say also.
Piss off, you cowbag.
Oh, I can't figure out how to make my thing not, but I'm going to figure out the echo, but I am going to trim it here. We got so much to more. In fact, I'm having a back and forth fight with Cat 10 Barge. Oh, this is going to get good. I'm going to invite her on. Maybe she'll, I doubt it. She never wants to. Plus, Brittany just dropped something breaking new audio, Kim. We're going to watch that and so much more. If you haven't watched the full show, if you're watching live, you're not going to miss it. But if you haven't watched a full show, what are you doing? Join us live or at least become a member. You can always catch the replays for the full show. We go live for a few hours, and then I do trim the main topic to be a video, and the rest of the show becomes a members-only exclusive. So if you want to watch the whole show and you missed it, go on over to my members-only playlist in the channel, and you can watch them always there whenever you want.